Motor Company is delaying its timeline for production of electric vehicles due to slower than expected demand. The U.S. car manufacturer now says it'll produce 600,000 electric cars sometime in 2024 instead of this year. Joining us now is Ford's president and CEO, Jim Farley. He's currently traveling down Route 66, a pretty iconic view, in the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Good to see you. We will talk about the F-150 Lightning and what's happening with the vehicles. The truck gets really good reviews, so I want to get into that. And I want to let the audience know that I have an electric vehicle so they know that I am into it. You got to tell them what you might, some biases that you may have. But I want to get to some news of the day before we talk about the vehicle. The president later on today is going to be announcing some bans on American firms investing in Chinese tech companies. It's kind of part of a broader environment where there is suspicion about Chinese tech companies. But Ford announced earlier this year that they're going to be partnering with a Chinese battery company to open up a Chinese battery plant. 2,500 people are going to get jobs. And there was a bit of pushback. I want to ask you, how do you address the concerns that you're getting from some politicians, from other people? And how do you address the question, why don't you just build a battery plant yourself?
Good morning to both of you. So it's not a Chinese battery plant. It's a Ford battery plant. It's our workers. It's our plant. And we're licensing the IP from CATL. LFP batteries are really important for American consumers because it brings the price down, and the intellectual property is not available in the U.S. No one does this. So we're bringing more affordable batteries. It's not a Chinese auto plant. It's a Ford auto plant and battery plant because we own it and it's our workers. But we're just licensing the IP.
You are okay. So you are working with this Chinese company, and they're going to be employees from that company that are going to help you get this plant going and keep it going.
Yeah, we'll probably have 100 or so out of the 2,500 for a few weeks as we start up the plant. But as I said, it's our plant, it's our machines, and we're bringing more affordable batteries to the U.S. So with the intellectual property that's only available in China, I mean, we could have imported the batteries and created all those jobs in China. We're not doing that. We could create the plant in Mexico. We're not doing that. We're producing these batteries in the middle of the industrial Midwest, our home state of Michigan, with all those jobs, and they're all Ford people.
Great. Now I've got to ask you another one. The United Auto Workers has rejected a proposal from another car manufacturer yesterday. Ford's one of the big three automakers who are currently in negotiations. How are negotiations going? And I understand that this is sort of a pivot point for the industry. The big three automakers, including Ford, are pivoting towards electric vehicles, but that's causing a little bit of concern, a lot of concern when it comes to some of the union workers. How are things going?
Well, I think it's going well. We're deep into negotiations. I don't want to go into that. Ford is different. We have 20% more U.S. Auto workers than any other company. So we're the most American company by a long way. We make all of our pickup trucks in the U.S. The others don't. So this is very important for Ford and for our country. I think the UAW and Ford have the same intent, which is to improve the middle class and make this transition to electric vehicles. And I don't want to portray the negotiations right now because we're in the middle of it. All I'd say is they have great ambition, and so do we.
All right, let's talk about the car now. First of all, you are taking the Great American Road Trip, as you're calling it. You're taking that across California and Nevada in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. Ford is delaying production of some of its electric vehicles due to consumer demand. My first thought was, is that going to drive down prices?
Well, it has. We're moving. We're going to get to 400,000 units of production in the fourth quarter. We were only at 100,000, so we're quadrupling our production rate. The F-150 is going to triple its production in September because of our demand. But prices are coming down. This is like a normal market now. More regular people are looking at electric vehicles, and the prices are coming down. The production is going up. We're the best-selling electric pickup in the U.S. We're number 2 last year to Tesla in EVs. We're also number 2 in hybrids. So we split the company in three to focus on these different markets, and we're going to give customers choice. But I'm really excited to triple production. We're really getting into the mass adoption. It's only 8% in the U.S., but as we triple production, quadruple production in the fourth quarter, you're going to see EV adoption increase. And that's why I'm taking this road trip, because as a CEO, I have to understand what the customer goes through when they go on a long trip in America, here on Route 66 charging.
All right, so
I learned so much, and I met so many good people.
So if you have an electric vehicle, you know what range anxiety is, which is why I think it is so interesting that you're taking this trip, right? Because I've been one of those people biting my fingernails, hoping I get to the next charging station. Have you suffered from any range anxiety thus far?
Yeah, I would call it more charging anxiety, but but absolutely. I mean, I was in California. We started in the Bay Area. We're like into a 1,000-mile trip now. And I got close a couple times. I had to wait for a charger. But the cool thing happened is I met all these people at the charging station. I bet you it was like 1911 in a gas station. And they gave me a pink pony and showed me how to charge the vehicle. And there's like a whole community of people who drive these vehicles that when you go charge, they want to show you, they want to help you. It's a biggest surprise on my trip now is how many people want to help you.
Wow.
That's what happens when you get out in America, Mr. CEO. Welcome to the open road.
Yeah. Well, I met salespeople, I met customers, and it's really different than being in the boardroom. But as a CEO and as a leader, to take this trip and really learn with my eyes and my ears.
There you go.
And see what customers go through. I have a long list of assignments for my team.
I bet. Jim Farley, thank you so much for pulling over and taking some time.
Thanks to both of you, and have a great summer.
You too.